Hi, my name is Blaine Mundell, and I am running for the Hannibal School Board. First, I want to say thank you to the Chamber. I know that we all wanted to host the forum, but things come up and things happen. And I understand that we couldn't have the forum, but this is the best thing that could happen because we can still give you information. We can still give you the things that you need and our thoughts. The first thing that comes to mind is, I really want to thank the other candidates because putting yourself out there for any elected position is very tough. School board is tough, government's tough, especially in the times that we have right now. The second thing that I want you to know is that I am here for you. I am here to protect our students' rights. I'm here to protect our parents' rights. And I believe that parent involvement is absolutely vital. People always ask me, Mr. Mundell, what are you going to do to help with achievement and to help with parental involvement and to help with things that are going on in the school, especially in the tough times that we have now. And the one thing is be open and honest and always accessible. If you go to my Facebook page, I have put my email out there. I have put my phone number out there, and I will answer any question that you want me to answer. I will let you know honestly what I think. It has been such an honor to represent the Hannibal Public Schools. I think people don't understand how I feel about Hannibal. I love Hannibal. I love our district. We have a tremendous district, and we can do so many great things. But there are things that we can improve on. And one of the things that we need parental help. We need parents to come in and talk to us, and we need to be open as a board. Transparency in any forum, in any business, in any board is vital. It's just something that you have to have. And I am very transparent. Some people say, sometimes you're too honest, that you say things that are in your heart and you're just open. Well, I'm okay with that. I had Dr. Bean actually had a Facebook post last night on my Facebook page, and it said, man, you are really open to conversation. And I am. And I think that's what good board members do. And I think that's what good people do. We have so many good people in our district. We have so many great kids in our district. Can we get better? Yes. One of the things that I am very proud of that I've been on the board and we are accomplishing is the new projects that's going into the old Sutherland's building. It's going to be awesome for adult education and our workforce. It's going to be awesome for our students. We have to have student readiness. And I've looked at our data, and our data is improving in achievement, but we can get better in achievement. The biggest thing that affects achievement are parents and students and the relationships that they build. We talk about, and I hear a lot of things about the parental rights bills that are going on throughout the United States. And I think that's great because I have been preaching for years. I'm a 28-year educator and have been in education for 31 years. And one of the biggest things that I've always said is I want parents in my building, and I want board members in the building. I want board members to be able to talk to every member of our community. And I can do that. I have done that. And I know that we have some great candidates that are working very hard to do exactly that. Get in front of people and talk to people. So please get out on April 4th and vote. And if you choose to vote for Blaine Mundell, I would appreciate it. But do your constitutional duty and vote. Thank you very much.
Jeff Evans here, and this year for the school board, we've got 5 people running for 3 positions, and I'm one of the people that's running. So sometimes people ask me why I'm running for the school board, and the reason is great life and great community. These are the reasons I'm running. So a great educational system partners with students and their families to help build a great life by meeting them where they are, helping them see what's possible, and then equipping them well. Finding ways to engage and motivate students to reach their full potential requires that they believe 2 things: that they can do it and that it matters. Now, what it is varies, but everybody needs hope and something worthwhile to strive for. There's a wide range of abilities in the students in the Hannibal School District, and we have to find ways to cater to the upper end and challenge them. And you have to find ways to engage the people that are right now not engaged with the school system as well, and find something that matters to them and speaks to them so that they can also wind up achieving what they are able to achieve. A great educational system also partners with students and their families to help build great community. Now, finding ways to engage and motivate students to participate in community also requires they believe 2 things: that they can do it and that it's worth it. Roles in community vary, but everyone needs to feel they're included, valued, and that the benefits of a relationship are worth the work and cost. It's amazing what we can accomplish when we work together, but sometimes it's difficult to find common ground with everybody who's involved in the school district. America was founded on shared values like equality, justice, kindness, self-sacrifice, honesty, a strong work ethic, treating others as you would like to be treated, and the list could go on. These shared values are what makes unity possible. Everything I will do on the school board will be to further the goal of great life and great community and to promote traditional values. I think the school board is important because it sets the tone and also has an opportunity to make changes in the future in the administration. We have the opportunity to select possibly a new superintendent coming up in the next little while, and a couple other key personnel. And I think that those selections and the chance to hit a reset on the school district in general and chart new opportunities and new direction will be critical. I think you need people on the school board that have experience working with people in all walks of life, that have experience dealing with children of varying backgrounds. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've got 5 children of my own, and I've also been involved with the foster care system for quite a while. I've got 3 foster kids now living with me. And I've been on many boards in the area and had a chance to participate in everything from t-ball to basketball and all kinds of academic programs and things, and have had a chance to interface with most of the schools in the district over the last 25 years I've been in town. I think it's really important to also find ways to engage all the different parties that are also stakeholders in the school district. You know, the parents sometimes have felt like they've been marginalized, or that legitimate concerns they brought to the administration and to the school board have not been really addressed adequately. And I think it's very important to wind up, instead of circling the wagons when concerns like that come up, to actually sit down and have a list, and if things need to change, make those changes. Sometimes people have accused the school district of being a district that serves the connected or people that have long-term relationships with some of the administration and faculty, instead of treating everybody on an even hand. I think that that's important to have consistency and even-handedness in the way that everybody's treated in the district. I think you have to have consistent discipline standards. I think everybody needs to be treated the same. I think discipline's important. I think that it's also important to wind up creating an environment that you can retain good staff and good teaching staff in particular. Sometimes the teachers have felt burdened by having excess of regulations in education. Every time somebody writes a dissertation, there's some new programs and new ideas that get dispersed out through the administration. Sometimes the brunt of bearing these new ideas falls on the back of the teachers. And so it's okay sometimes to maintain the old programs and stay with the tried and true a little bit instead of running after every new program. But if there are new things that come up, to be able to incorporate those as well. I think it's important for the community. A lot of times when people come and they want to interview and look for a place to live, they're going to look at the school system and the rankings and what's available through the programs. And we want the school system to be a very strong asset for recruiting people in the community. And overall, the fabric of the community is composed of the interwoven lives of the people that live here. And so over the course of time, you have to have strength in every area: strong school system, strong social supports, good law enforcement, good judiciary. And so if we have weaknesses in any of those areas, it really impacts the community. So I'm hoping to put a hand into the school board just to be able to wind up charting a course in the future and shoring that up so that it'll be an asset for the community going forward, even more than it's been in the past. I'd like to build on the strengths and shore up the weaknesses.
My name is LaDonna Hampton, and I'm running for school board here in Hannibal, Missouri. I'm a proud mother of 2 beautiful daughters, and I'm a pastor's wife. I have 2 grandchildren. I have taught in the public schools for 11 years. For the last 8 years, I've been working in the mental health field. I have a certificate of education in regular and special ed. My proposals and stances are as followed. I will not cave to government's woke agenda. Parents should have the right to know what's being taught in the public schools in which the children attend and actually see it online. Parents should have the right to be heard, and they should be allowed to speak during school board meetings, not in a 2-way conversation, not one way, where they speak and then they're not heard. With this, I propose, there are many opinions can help solve difficult situations that we face at our schools. And I propose sending out surveys for parents to ask for suggestions on how to solve these problems, such as the violence and the drugs and the bullying and the discipline that we need in the schools. We got all this going on and we need parents to help us. So with surveys, we can do that. School budgets should be posted online for parents to see and to understand how their tax money is being spent on their child's education. Parents should have the right to protect the privacy of their child. The parent is always the stakeholder of their child's education. Parents should be updated on any violent activities at school immediately, not several hours or days later, which has happened in the communication, and this communication needs to be improved. While advocates for the radical gender ideology and critical race theory try to paint parents' rights as an issue of class or race warfare, I commend the Parent Bill of Rights at the state level for being the great equalizer. It should never matter the color of our skin or how much wealth we have or our gender. One thing that we know however, is that our country's education is going to be the great equalizer. I will work to launch an Empower hotline allowing parents to report concerns about what is taught or happening in the classroom directly to the school board. This will allow parents and teachers to be able to report inappropriate public school lessons that distract from the teaching basic academic standards. The lessons would include those that focus on race or ethnicity rather than individuals by their merit, promoting gender ideology, social emotional learning, or inappropriate sexual content that sexualizes our children. It is time to stop utilizing students and teachers in cultural wars based on fear-mongering and unfounded accusations. As a school board member, I am called to protect the vulnerable, including the impressionable and innocent children. It has been said that critical race theory is a graduate study not to be taught to the K through 12 schools. So, for this reason, I work to establish a hotline that anyone could report the teaching of inappropriate lessons that rob students of precious minutes of instruction in core academic subjects such as the reading, math, science, history, and arts. Should a teacher have been found to have strayed from the curriculum for political purposes, there would be interventions up to and including terminations of their position. The role of the school board is to ensure that school districts are responsive to the values and beliefs and priorities of their communities. The rights of parents come from Constitution, which was decided in the court case Washington versus Gluckberg, 521 U.S. 702, 1997, that specifically the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment protects the fundamental rights of parents to direct the care, upbringing, and education of their children. It says that parents are the stakeholders of their children, not the schools. They didn't sign their children over to the schools to lead them astray. I support the curriculum transparency, which requires our school district to disclose learning materials online. Academic excellence is at an all-time low in Missouri. We're 30th in all 50 states, according to the U.S. News of World Report News. I support support Senate Bill SB 134 in Missouri, which passed on February 14, 2023. This legislation prevents school staff, teachers, nurses, counselors from discussing gender identity or sexual orientation with students. The parents will have to take them to the mental health provider. The parents will make the decision for their household's beliefs. The parents will decide what medical attention their child needs and receives, not the school. I believe the academic excellence comes when we focus on teaching the basic subjects, when the parents and the teachers work together, building strong relationships, and both hold high expectations for each child, then they will excel. When a child is growing up in chaos and trauma in a home, it is difficult for them to focus and learn. Children learn better when they grow up in a structured environment, which creates more successful student. Adults must work together as a team and stay consistent with discipline to build stability in our homes and in schools if we are to be successful in raising strong families and academic successes. My character, LaDonna, thank you for so much for your passion, dedication you bring to work every day. You are a role model for the rest of our staff. It is beyond appreciated. LaDonna, I am so grateful to you for all your hard work you do. You have built great connections with all of them. I hear a lot of positive comments from others about you. You are dedicated and love your job, and it shows. Thank you for all your hard work. You are appreciated. Those are words of appreciation from my work that I receive every day. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stacy Graves, and I believe in education. I believe in Hannibal, and I believe in our children. I am a retired teacher with 39 years in education, and proudly, 31 of those years were at Hannibal High School. I have been retired for almost 2 years now, but have continued to keep in touch with what's going on in our schools. If elected to the board, I would draw from my experience as an educator in our district, using that experience as a resource in the decision-making process as a board member. A school district is rated by the state primarily in 2 basic areas: the academic achievement of their students and the overall integrity of its infrastructure. Because of the foresight and planning of our administration and our school board, our infrastructure in this district is excellent. Not to mention the wonderful Votech campus that will be going in across the street from the high school in the old Sutherland's building. Academic achievement is much more complicated, although sometimes I think it shouldn't be. If academic achievement is made the priority and distracting social bias is removed from the equation, great strides can be made in education. The education of a child is multifaceted. It begins with an environment that makes a child feel safe. Regardless of the color of a child's skin, who they pray to, their sexual orientation, or their cognitive abilities, all children should feel seen, safe, and supported. If nowhere else, all children should feel seen, safe, and supported at school. The discriminatory garbage and bias of our society should not infest our schools to distract from what children are here for. Our children are here to learn. They're at school to get a quality education. For academic achievement to be at its best, it is important to teach up, not down. When standards are lowered, student achievement is lowered. Students are at their best when challenged in the classroom. The plasticity of a child's brain, their learning capacity, is optimum during their school-age years. This needs to be taken advantage of. The curriculums of the different grade levels and disciplines should be challenging to our students. In addition, we need to be diligent about rebounding academically from the COVID slump that all schools are experiencing right now. The foundation of academic achievement is the district's teachers and support staff. Employing the best teachers and support staff can only be done by offering competitive salary/pay and benefits. I recently ate lunch at a restaurant in Quincy, and we were waited on by one of Hannibal's elementary teachers. Sadly, she said she has to work weekends just to make ends meet. Our district needs to be able to hold on to the great teachers and staff that we already have and be wage competitive in the hiring of new teachers and support staff. In this manner, we will be able to attract among the best. 43% of your local tax dollars are spent on education here. I think that is a pretty remarkable statistic that we can all be proud of. especially when you consider the state of Missouri spends just over 30% of your tax dollars on education, while the national average is just over 40%. Missouri is 50th of 50 in teachers' pay. Why can't Hannibal be the trendsetter and set the example? When I first started teaching here, Hannibal was a model school district for the state of Missouri. The salaries were very competitive. Our test scores, particularly the ACTs over the years, have almost always been above the national average. We have historically attracted and retained great teachers here in Hannibal. For the sake of our children, we need to ensure we can continue to do this. And finally, our parents are vital to the academic success of their children. If parents value education, their children will value education. If parents are distracted by societal or political agendas concerning education, their children will be distracted in school by those same societal or political agendas. Parents should support the professionals charged with educating their children and be a vital part of that educational process. Transparency is very important, and a parent should feel free to air their concerns about their child with a teacher, administrator, or school board member. Communication between parents and our schools is important and must be considered paramount. As a board member, I would invite you to invite feedback from any concerned parent or community member. You will find I'm a very good listener. Thank you.
Communication, transparency. Hello, my name's Anna Lemon and I'm running for the Hannibal School Board. During my campaign, I've been going door to door because I want to meet people and talk to them about their thoughts and concerns about our schools. I've talked to a lot of folks. However, one person said something that really stuck with me. Everyone is running just because they have an agenda. Now, at first, I was a little offended. Agenda? I don't have an agenda. Then I thought about things for a little bit. And I guess I'm going to have to give them a point. I do have an agenda. Let me explain. So going back about 2 years, I have gone to some school board meetings, but not regularly. Just like everyone else, I would get busy, and let's face it, school board meetings isn't always a high priority. However, during the pandemic, I started paying attention. I started going to school board meetings all the time. In fact, I've only missed 2 in the last 2 years. In going to these meetings, I noticed a problem. And if I have an agenda, it's to fix the problem. My agenda is to improve communication and transparency at the Hannibal School Board. Now, you may be asking, what does she really mean? Is she just using buzzwords to try to get my vote? No, it's really simple. I think Hannibal needs a school board where parents can come and discuss their concerns. When I say discuss, I mean actual dialogue, where the board both listens and responds to the concerns. As to transparency, I understand that in order for a school to operate, there are things that can't be discussed in public. A school board discusses things like security measures, contracts under negotiation, and private employee matters. But I also know that with public entities, there is a tendency to close meetings and records when it's not really necessary. That's a problem because it makes people suspect that bad things are being hidden from the public. And usually that's just simply not the case. It's about trust, and the best way to build trust is to do as much as possible out in the open. If people have a valid question, then the school board should explain to them what's going on. If people can see what's going on, ask questions, and get answers, then we can make school system a team where parents work with teachers who work with administrators to get our kids the best education possible. They told me that I need to explain to you why I'm qualified to be on the school board. I hope my ideas do that. However, I want to follow the rules, so please let me tell you a little about myself. I grew up over in Pittsfield, Illinois, but I've lived in Hannibal over 20 years. My husband and I have raised 4 kids, and we're working on kid number 5. Our 4 kids graduated from Hannibal High School, and our youngest is a sophomore. I'm a dental hygienist, and I've worked in offices both here in Hannibal and in Quincy, so I may have cleaned your teeth at one time. I have an Associate's of Applied Science degree from Lewis and Clark Community College and a bachelor's degree in biology from Hannibal LaGrange. I've been on various boards here in Hannibal. For the last few years, I've been on the fundamental board for the Hannibal Free Clinic and also the advisory board for the Child Advocacy Center of Northeast Missouri. I've been a member of the Hannibal Lions Club and the Businesswomen of Missouri Club for many years, and I recently joined the Elks Club. Raising 5 kids, I've gotten the whole spectrum of Hannibal school system. I've got kids that were top percentage of their class, but I also have kids at the bottom percentage of their class. James and I have been proud of our kids' high academic honors, but we are also helped one of our kids navigate through his IEP. We've raised athletes, but less athletic kids too. Our kids were band kids, theater kids, choir kids, but also one kid that simply wasn't interested in any of these types of things. We have experienced the range from a child who was never in trouble all the way to suspensions for fighting. 3 of our kids wanted college and ended up there, but we also had a kid that wanted to go straight to the Coast Guard. My point in telling you that information is this. When elected, I will always be available to talk to parents, teachers, and administrators. But more importantly, because of my life experiences, I understand. If a parent says I don't know what to do to help my kid with discipline issues, I understand. I have had the same struggle. If a teacher says I have trouble dealing with a particular kid, they are smart, but I can't get their attention. I understand. I raised kids with the same problem. So I'm committed to my goal of improving communication and transparencies between the school system and the public. I want to be an advocate for parents, grandparents, kids, teachers, and the community at large. I want to be a liaison between all of you in the school system. When you go to the polls Tuesday, I would appreciate your vote so I can be that advocate for you. Thank you.